All of this, all the lies about the British royal family, all the racism claims, all the desperate desire to bring down the British monarchy was all for this? For this? Meghan Markle overnight finally joined.
Holy moly, where do we even start with this one? Meghan Markle, the self-proclaimed feminist, humanitarian, Duchess-turned-lifestyle influencer, has apparently reached the moment she's always been chasing, a Kardashian-adjacent moment. Yep, after years of lecturing the world about racism, feminism, and authenticity, Meghan Markle reportedly lost her mind because Khloe Kardashian posted a picture of her as ever product hamper.
The Kardashian Club. And I feel really sad about it. For all my girls, starting with Kay, she posted, and we know she's looked up to Khloe and Kim and Kourtney for some years. I mean, it's surprising given those three actually work really hard, unlike her. But it's just quite pathetic, isn't it, that this is now the highlight of Meghan Markle's world. A woman who, quite literally, was given the opportunity by the late Queen Elizabeth II to change the world, now has her world changed because the least known, the least popular, the nastiest of the Kardashian sisters decides to post a hamper of dodgy as-ever goodies. Nancy Sidley on this. So Khloe Kardashian posted this on her Instagram stories today on Kylie Jenner's birthday. Khloe did not tag as ever or Meghan Markle. This is my theory. Tonight, Kendall Jenner hosted Kylie's family party. Meghan sent all the Kardashians press boxes hoping they would share it with their many followers. That never happened. Someone from the family regifted the as-ever crap. Khloe then took a pic of it. Meghan sees this hours later and jumps at the chance to be connected to a Kardashian. Here's the problem. By Khloe posting this, probably by mistake, it's going to take away from Kylie's party and all the stuff Kendall is currently trying to merch on her Instagram. She added Meghan gives Khloe Kardashian an as-ever gift basket after Khloe calls herself an N-word lover and Kim is concerned over her baby's skin tone matching the stroller. Ha! But it's the royal family that's racist. Brittany, editor of the Royal News Network, joins me now. Lots going on with this, Brittany. But first, can we just take a look at it from a macro level now? The fact that this was a woman who could have had world leaders in her pocket. And now her weekend is made by an Instagram story from a Kardashian sister who doesn't even bother to tag her. How the mighty have fallen. It's sad. It's pathetic.
It really is, Dan, because Meghan, like you said, she was going to interact with royalty. Her and Harry probably would have taken over the role of Sophie and Edward, going to all the big events held in other countries, the weddings, the birthdays, where there's tiara events and everything. And now her day is made by a Kardashian. And it goes to show you where Meghan's really where she was always looking, which was not royalty. It was not being an actual influencer in the world. She really just wants to be a Kardashian. That is her level. And that has always been her level. This idea that she's some brilliant woman who married into the royal family and, they were just too, basically what she always said was too dumb for her, and that she went on and she was going to achieve these great things. No. Meghan is always the one who has been shallow, vain, and vapid. And I think she proves that via this Instagram post.
I know. And then Nancy makes the point that actually, if you are going to ally yourself with this family, is there not a bit of hypocrisy, given the previous comments that they've made about, for example, the skin tone of their baby's skin? Now, I'm actually not calling the Kardashians out for that. I think they were having an honest conversation, but I think it does show you, doesn't it, the true hypocrisy of this woman in terms of her hatred for the royal family compared to how she will excuse anything from the Kardashian clan.
Yes, because she wants the Kardashians' attention. She doesn't really care about the royal family. And you have to think about the time when Meghan Markle made those allegations. It was at the height of BLM, and she really utilized sort of the reaction to the protests and everything to sort of try to shield herself as a victim. And what's happened over the several years since then is that we've all seen who Meghan Markle really truly is. And it has never been about this alleged racism narrative. No, no, no. She just wanted to leave the royal family because she desperately wanted to be a Kardashian. And although the Kardashians, you could argue, don't have a lot of talent, they do work really hard. And Meghan Markle neither has talent nor a good work ethic. And so, this whole idea that she was going to come to Hollywood and achieve the great things she couldn't on her own was always going to be a fool's errand. And I think we're really seeing that come to the forefront now, especially with her wine not selling out.
But the thing is, Brittany, look, I don't mind the Kardashians. I used to interview some of them during my time doing showbiz, Kim and Chris specifically. And what I would say about them is I love the fact that they are grafters. And they're not grifters, they are grafters. You could argue that how they came to fame was not desirable. Chris leaking a sex tape of her own daughter with Ray J, gross. However, they work every single minute of the day to achieve what they have achieved. They are really living the American dream. I would say they are grafters and Meghan is a grifter. She doesn't put the work in. She's never been prepared to.
The problem? Khloe didn't tag her. She didn't even mention her name. But Meghan still rushed to repost it as if she'd just been knighted by Queen Kris Jenner herself. Let's unpack this circus, because it's not just about a gift basket. It's about how far Meghan has fallen from a lofty royal promise to a desperate scramble to stay relevant in Hollywood. And honestly, it's a bit tragic. Remember when Meghan married Prince Harry? The world thought this was going to be the start of something revolutionary.
No, she never really wanted to do that. And that's why we always see her taking shortcuts through PR and now through these scarcity tactics with her brand. She's not actually really wanting to achieve real success. She's always trying to fake it. And the reality is, for the Kardashians, for a long time, they were not taken seriously in the entertainment industry at all. They were a bit of pariahs as they were kind of growing this huge following. And then at some point, Hollywood's like, oh yeah, the Kardashians, they're really it now. And now they're all part of the elite A-list, really, in the entertainment industry. The Kardashians are. And so I think Meghan totally missed the memo, the message, which is that, yes, having a title is somewhat impressive in Hollywood. Not a lot of people have that. But it's very, 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 very few, even actors, have the level of following and the level of influence that the Kardashians have. And that is not just a product of happenstance. That was as a result of almost now getting closer to 2 decades of really, really, really hard work and being professional, being courteous. I've heard that the Kardashians are wonderful interviews. They give you very good attention, and they have seen the great results of that. And Meghan Markle just can't do any of that. And she's also not authentic. And the Kardashians, like them or hate them, I think they do have a pretty good authenticity chip there.
And Brittany, what we constantly get from Team Meghan Markle is a desperate attempt to convince us that she is this hard-working so-and-so, when we just know it's not true. But Daniel Martin, look at this post on Threads this weekend. He wrote, "Couldn't be more proud of you, Meghan." Love Meghan. Yay, team, as ever official on Netflix. And he posted this video of her storyboarding for Instagram with a quote, Brittany, that says, "The soil resists, the storms may roar, yet still we push, we labour more. For in the end, the fruits will show, the seeds of efforts always grow, the sweetest taste, the richest prize is born from work beneath skies." So she's toiling away, Brittany. But the only problem is he had to go back months and months and months to get that photo of her putting together quite a lazy storyboard for As Ever.
Oh, 100%. I remember seeing that Nancy reposted that, and I saw it before, and I remember thinking, I don't even know if we saw that coverage ever being used. I'm like, what is it? What was it supposed to be? And it goes to show for Meghan, like, despite her claims to the contrary, that she's putting so much effort into this, so much love and joy and whatever, is that this is really just cheap. It's just tacky. She's hardly put any effort into this. She hardly is ever seen using her own products. I find that just so aggravating from somebody who knows a bit about branding and marketing and everything. Like, the key thing for a personal brand like this is that you must be willing to use your own products. And Meghan Markle hardly touches any of hers, but this grand vision they're always trying to proclaim about Meghan and how great this brand is just absolutely ridiculous. It's farcical, it's delusional. And I think this weekend especially has shown that there is limits to the level of interest in Meghan. It's quite low and it's not generating sales like it should. And I'm sure behind the scenes, Meghan's probably freaking out just a little bit there.
And Brittany, you have posted that actually it looks like the relaunch of As Ever has been a disaster. Look at this. It's been almost 100 hours and it's clear that Meghan Markle's wine is officially a flop. She may have tripled her inventory, but it's rather clear that interest has cratered. If the interest was the same as the first launch, she should have sold out in around 3 hours. There's nothing else to do but add this to her list of 2025 failures. This is also why, again, smart business owners avoid the scarcity tactic. It's a neon light to the public and investors when the product is no longer selling out. The magic can only last for so long, and Meghan's seeing the limits. So, Brittany, what do we know about the sales of this wine?
A biracial, outspoken American woman joining the world's most traditional institution? It could have been game-changing. Even Queen Elizabeth reportedly gave Meghan every chance to make a real difference. Charities, Commonwealth initiatives, a global platform that no one else on earth could have had.
So it's obviously very murky because Meghan Markle doesn't want to be super clear, but in a Harper's Bazaar piece, we were told that in the first 10 minutes, 10,000 bottles were sold. Of course, at the very least, that means just 3,000 customers because every customer has to buy 3. We also saw that she had a 20% return customer, and that's actually fairly low. That's on the very low end of average. The average is usually 20 to 40, with 30 being good, 40 being great, and 50 being, fantastic. So she's actually revealing to us that the return customer is actually very low. People have to buy either 3, 6, or 12 packs. A lot of people bought 6 and 12 packs. So you could actually really have down her number of customers to quite low. And then what's interesting is they say they tripled their inventory and they sold 50% more of the products within the first day than they did the last time. But last time they sold out completely. This time they could only sell 50%. And so then you had the rest of the 50%, which is not moving. I haven't checked it today, but the product is not selling out. And that's what Meghan has set up for herself. That's what she teased, telling us on Instagram, hey, make sure you buy this before it sells out. Make sure you get yours. And obviously we're not moving away from that. So if it's still for sale, then this is a failure. And of course, the scarcity tactic, which Meghan has employed this entire time, was always going to hit its limit. And apparently people didn't like the wine and they didn't want to reorder, or again, her inconsistent product launches. Some people were like, hey, I still have your old 2023 wine. It was okay. I'm not going to buy more. So this should be a glaring warning flag to Meghan's team. And this was always going to happen. And this is why, again, you don't employ the scarcity tactic. Just keep your stuff in stock. You make more money. You make your customers happier. And you don't look like a fool at the end of the day.
Totally. Couldn't agree more. Speaking of fools, Prince Harry's sick new attempt to destroy Sophie Chandoka was revealed in the Mail on Sunday yesterday. Critically, this story written by Charlotte Griffiths, the editor-at-large, who is the new Omid Scobie-like figure in Harry's life. And so she's trying to desperately spin this in his favour, even though I think it makes him look like the absolute creep and cretin that he is. Headline, Harry hits back at charity chief in bullying row as it's revealed he may launch a new African children's charity. Here's the story. Prince Harry is planning to outflank the boardroom rival who accused him of bullying by launching a new African children's charity, the Mail on Sunday can reveal. The Duke of Sussex last week walked away from Centre Bali following a damaging report into an explosive race row, but sources say he is determined to continue the work of the charity, which he co-founded with Prince Siaso of Lesotho in 2006 in honour of their mothers. The Mail on Sunday has learned that Harry has now upped the ante by issuing a formal complaint about Dr. Chandoka's conduct, accusing her of recycling unfounded claims. A letter to the Commission from his office notes that since the investigation, Dr. Chandoka had revisited serious, highly charged and damaging accusations. It said the claims directly impact his other charity work, adding, Ms. Chandoka continues to publicly recycle these claims, this time beneath the guise of clarification, all while leveraging the charity's public platform to do so. This conduct appears to directly contravene your warning about the risks of airing internal disputes in the media and seems to constitute an ongoing misuse of charitable resources for the pursuit of personal vindication. Then Harry's team threw a whole load of shade via Charlotte Griffiths, who reports this newspaper can now reveal startling new details of the background to Dr. Chandoka's 2023 appointment. In an email to fellow board members, she requested $3,000 a day for her time, claiming this represented a very significant compromise pay cut, as she typically charged £2,500 for 60-minute speaking engagements. A source said it raised eyebrows among trustees and was in stark contrast to the selfless pro bono spirit in which most serve. In the event, the Zimbabwean-born lawyer eventually agreed to work pro bono. So, I mean, honestly, Brittany, if that's the best you've got, Charlotte Griffiths and Prince Harry, you better go back to the drawing board, because there is a desperate attempt to try and smear Sophie Chandoka, firstly with the complaint, then with the linking of the fact that, oh, she asked for some money to begin with. Well, she didn't take the money, Brittany, and she's still working on this charity pro bono for free. So in my view, I'm like, if that's all you've got, you are losing this battle, losing badly.
Let's be honest, Meghan's transformation from Duchess to desperate influencer says everything about how fame works now. She traded tiaras for tote bags, royal duties for hashtags, diplomacy for discount codes. And the saddest part? She doesn't even see the irony. The Kardashians built an empire by owning who they are. Meghan built hers on denying it. And as her wine sits unsold, her PR gambits flop, and her royal bridges burn, one thing's clear. The dream of changing the world has fizzled into the reality of please tag me back. So yes, how the mighty have fallen. Meghan Markle once had Buckingham Palace at her feet. Now she's praying for a Kardashian's Instagram story.